Welcome to Uriah Heep, the Magician's Podcast. I'll be covering every studio song the band has recorded and every bonus track that I can find. Each week we'll go over a new song from the beginning to where they are currently, and as they keep adding albums, I'll keep adding shows. Let the deep dive party begin.
In the magic garden, some were singing, some were dancing.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Uriah Heep, the Magician's Podcast. I am your host, Scott Haskin, wishing you guys a very happy Friday. And before I send you off to the weekend, we got one more song to cover this week. We're digging into the song Look at Yourself. I originally reviewed this Season 3, Episode 1 on December 18th of 2020. Where we're really digging back to the, beginnings of the show on some of these songs. And it feels like so much longer, so much more time has passed since I originally reviewed these. But some of them are still pretty fresh in my mind. I've just covered so many songs since we started doing the show. So this one, originally I had reviewed two versions. Today we're just going to do the one from Totally Driven, as we've been covering all season long. Really great stuff. Would not have expected the re-recordings of songs would come out so great. Because a lot of times, it's the first song that has the magic, it has the energy, all that good stuff. And here we're just given so much great stuff to work with. So let's just jump right into the song. Here's Look at Yourself. Geez, no time to buckle up and fasten your seatbelt. Make sure that your tray table is in the upright position. We're just taking off. No warning. We're just going at 1,000 miles an hour. Another shuffle, back-to-back shuffles. That's pretty interesting. Again, as I've said, I don't know if this was what the live set list order was. But this is, even just for the album, is kind of an interesting choice to put back-to-back shuffles together, although Heap did a lot of shuffles, so it might not be as easy to spread those out. We'll see as we go through the album. But this comes out on fire. I really like it. Lee's energy. I love those runs from Trevor. Great stuff so far. I'm loving the organ sound on this too. Really, really filling in some space. Guitars are great, keeping that rhythm going. But let's talk about Bernie for a second, because this is now back to that full push that I was talking about in our last episode, where I said he was singing a little straighter, laying back a little bit, which served the song well. But now he's back on that full grit, full volume coming out. And it really works for this song. This is a very powerful song. I mean, Return to Fantasy was too, but it left a lot of room for more melodic singing. Whereas this is just, it's 1,000 miles an hour. The freight train is just speeding down the track. A lot of travel references today. Don't know why. I'm not going anywhere this weekend. We'll probably not even leave the house. So I don't know where that's coming from. But in any case, he's bringing it, and he's matching the music very well. It's an interesting choice from Lee to play snare all the way through that instead of doing, going around the kit like the original version did. Of course, that was a different drummer and it's a different style. This does not sound bad. It's very syncopated. I really like the feel and style of it. Just wasn't expecting it. Some fantastic wah pedal work from Mick. It's such a signature sound of not only him as a guitarist, but the band. And I always love the way that sounds. It will make me smile every single time I hear it until the end of time, or till the end of my time.
The systems only for me is love. No point in hiding. Tell me what you're frightened of. You got a friend, just look at yourself. Don't be afraid, just look at yourself.
I am loving these backups so much. It really just brings me back to the original style of the band as they've evolved over the years. I've talked about this, that they're not doing these kind of backups so much anymore. There are backups, but it's a lot more, I think, of Bernie layering himself than it is these kind of, everybody joining in. Of course, when you're live, that's a different story because you can't back yourself up live unless you pre-tape, but that really never plays well. So don't do that, especially when you've got so many great voices in the band. But yeah, I love the feel of this. I love the style of it. I love these runs from Trevor. Everything just sounds fantastic. Great playing from Phil. Really love the organ sound on this song too. Okay, that was a lot to take in right there. I'll go backwards. Killer solo from Mick. Just on fire. So much put into it. Yet when you listen to him play, it just sounds like it's so effortless, doesn't it? So smooth, not getting caught up anywhere. Just very natural performance. And I've always loved that about him. The 2-2 part is historically a part I've never been a huge fan of. Like lyrically, it just never made any sense to me. And it's not been one of my favorites. However, I have to say they played it very well here. There was a combination of what sounded like guitars and voices that were, very muffled at first and then kind of came into clarity along with the guitar. I really like that. I thought that was very, very well done. Really cool idea. I don't know how that came to be, but that's one of the cool things about performing songs is that you don't have to perform them the way that they were on the record. You can do different arrangements. You can change the speed. You can change the sounds. You can do all these different things. And as they've shown, song after song on this album of re-recorded versions, every one of them is very unique and sounds like the current time in the band and not like they were trying to recreate the time when they originally recorded it. Even Come Away Melinda, like I said, had that very specific reverb sound, and they did a great job making that feel similar while making it a modern sound. And I really dug that. So as we go forward through this, the rest of the album, kind of keep that in mind. Okay, a couple of big twists there. Did not expect that kind of an ending, both in performance and in fade. As I said from the beginning, I didn't expect a lot of fades, if any. Now we've got a pretty defined one there. Be curious to see how they ended that live, because that's a jam that could just go on for a while, you know. But yeah, that was a pretty cool thing. I like what Mick was playing there. I like that they just opened up a bunch of space to let the effects come through on guitar. Really interesting and unique ending. But I would say another great version of this song. Now we have multiple versions to choose from. And yeah, this is one I would revisit very easily. I wouldn't even think twice about it. If I were to put on this album or just feel like listening to Look at Yourself, this version would be a high contender. Along with the original, I have to say. Very good stuff. I really liked it. So thank you for joining me for another episode of the show. We will be back on Monday for 4 more shows. And then on Wednesday, of course, I do the Haskincast podcast. Sometimes I do a bonus show on Saturdays if I have an interview or something. But apart from that, this one is Monday, Tuesday, Haskincast podcast on Wednesday. And then this one comes back for Thursday and Friday. I'm a busy podcaster, guys. Have a great weekend. Do something great for yourself. Take a minute to do something great for somebody else, will you? Damn it. Thanks a lot. Cheers. Thank you for joining me on this episode of Uriah Heep, the Magician's Podcast. If you have enjoyed this show, please consider going over to Apple Podcasts or your favorite podcast outlet, leaving a rating or a review. Be sure to subscribe to make sure that you are notified when new episodes are available. Please be sure to share this podcast with your fellow Uriah Heep enthusiasts and anyone who you think would like Uriah Heep, which should be everyone. And if you are so inclined, please feel free to contribute to the Patreon account. And if you are not a Patreon subscriber, you can also pay through the PayPal link on the website listed in the show links below. I would also like to thank Uriah Heep for their very generous support of the show, and thank you guys for listening. We'll see you in the next episode. Happy days!